In chats with Adam, and today I'm joined by Charlie. And before we get into it, like Charlie is in the Back in Charge Blueprint. He's currently in the Back in Charge Blueprint. And we just kind of an open chat about, how he's getting on, how he's finding it, why he wanted to get involved, but also it's like what results he's seen so far and how he's going to see his results continuing in the future. So before we get into it, I'm going to hand it over to Charlie. Charlie, just introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Off you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlie. I live in Suffolk with my wife and two daughters. And I work in London as an estate agent. Although whilst doing this Back in Charge challenge, Adam has made me leave my job, I think, almost. And
Easy.
no, what's getting true, but I've decided to go and set up all on my own, which just shows how unbelievably motivating this has all been. It's not just about my losing weight, but feeling better and more confident about myself. I commute every day, and before I started this whole process, was not particularly happy with the way I looked, felt, and I feel like this journey has been incredible.
Nice.
So yeah,
cool. So like we'll get onto that in a minute about you. Like throw me under the bus about saying that I've made you leave your job, right? Let's not
literally.
That's it, right? But let's go back to before you started the Back in Charge Blueprint. Okay, like how did you find, like how were you? You said you weren't happy with your weight or anything like that. Like tell me, like what was it like? How did you feel and all of that?
I think probably like lots of people, I would start a diet or I'd start a fitness regime, and I would then hit it hard and probably go and buy some new trainers and new kit, etc. And then the first week or two were going brilliantly, and then life takes over. And the same with the eating. You have every good intention. You go and do a really healthy shop, and then everything goes really well. And then you sort of have that, as you call it, the fuck it moment, and you go out for dinner or you go to some friends, and it all goes pear-shaped. And then you're just, And I last year, for the majority of last year, had a personal trainer a couple of times a week, which there's no doubt about it. I saw benefits. I was definitely getting fitter, but my body shape and my mental well-being hadn't improved. So there were definitely benefits. There's no doubt about it. But I think what I've learned over the last 8 weeks is there's so much more than just looking good. You've got to if you feel good, I'm going to benefit over. It's a sort of, I said to my wife, it's sort of a self-perpetuating circle. If I'm feeling good, that gives me energy to go and do a run or go for a cycle ride or go for a walk, which then makes me feel better, makes me work harder, and it's one big
positive. Right? Exactly. Yeah. But like, let's be honest, like most men know, like we all know that's how it works. You make yourself feel better, gives you more energy, means you can work harder, which then, the benefits are always there. But for a lot of guys, like especially like where you are in the city, in London, and even, like in your network, but guys don't see that, do they? They just think they just got to get their heads down and work. They just got to grit their teeth and just crack on, right?
Yeah, big time. There are so many things we sort of say that we will do on a daily basis and stuff, but actually, as you always remind me, you've just got to take some time out of the day to look after yourself. Because you're looking after yourself, your work will be better. And I think that's one big key thing that I'm taking away from this, and I'll definitely, harness for the rest of my life for sure.
So in the past, you said that you had a personal trainer, right? And like years ago, I was a personal trainer, right? Yeah. So I totally get that, and I really understand what you were saying. It's like you would go to a personal trainer. They, of course, the benefits are that you would get fit. That there's no doubt. But
Yeah.
but I remember like the other day you were saying that you just didn't see the results
Right.
on the scales or how you were feeling. Now,
Yeah.
why do
I,
you go on?
I sort of fell in and out of love with going to the gym as well. I just don't like gyms, and I totally get some people probably love that environment. I didn't enjoy the environment, and therefore I found that everything I was doing was a struggle. It wasn't an enjoyment. It wasn't a pleasure. Whereas now the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis from a fitness point of view, I've incorporated into my everyday life, which so it has a benefit of getting from A to B. I'm doing sport rather than having to go to the gym, which sort of almost felt like wasted time to me.
Yeah, no, I get that. And also, it's like if you've had a period of time off, so for example, like a couple of holidays in the summer,
Yeah.
and then that first session back at the gym, it's just that trepidation of,
it's
damn,
horrible.
I'm gonna be aching. Like you put it off, don't you?
Yeah, your body aches for weeks just from one massive session, and it just, which again I've sort of learned that it's better to do little and often than just smash your body at the beginning of the week and then you're aching for sort of 2 weeks later, so you can't actually do anything. And I'm now cycling. What am I doing? I think like 16, 17 miles a day, and I love it, but I also have to do it to get from Liverpool Street Station to Balham. So it's sort of part of my everyday job life. Whereas before I was getting the tube every day, which I hated even more. So that is a huge benefit to me. So
Nice.
that's only happened since in the last 8 weeks.
Nice. So this is the thing, right? So you've had a personal trainer in the past. So why did we then have a conversation? Because like this thing, I'm not a personal trainer now, but why did we then? But why did you want to have a conversation, even though you had a personal trainer?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so when you and I first spoke, naturally, like most people, we are in everyday environment, everyday world. We're all sort of plugged with adverts and everything of quick ways to lose weight and all these things. And so naturally, I was slightly dubious, skeptical, but something had to change. I had to do something. I'm going to be 40 next year. And also just for my family. And I needed to do something. And after what did we speak? Probably an hour and a half. We chatted at the beginning, and it sort of felt like the right journey. But also the approach of not having, it's not all about doing hours and hours and hours of fitness every day. It's just making slight changes to your life that give you the good foundations, I suppose, for the rest of my life. So I think that's what made me want to do this. I'm a very competitive person at heart. So if I can get into something that I enjoy and believe in, I'll put 110% into it. And I believed in it, and I do believe in it, and it's working. And with, I can't say minimal effort, but it's not like I'm getting up in the morning thinking, oh God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. It really is just tweaks to my life that have changed, I suppose.
Yeah,
and
it flows.
It flows, exactly. And actually, I know we spoke about this before. I used to smoke quite a lot, and I gave up 7 or 8 years ago. And a lot of the things that I learned when I gave up smoking, I apply to everyday life now, about all the positives. And actually, this is what you've taught me over the last 8 weeks. It's just, looking at all the benefits of drinking salt water and having cold showers, little things that do make a
big impact. That's it, right?
Massive impact.
Yeah, that's it. Cool. So, like, look, let's look over like what has actually happened apart from you being in the program over the last 8 weeks. What things have happened to you and like your family over the last 8 weeks? So, I know that you said briefly at the start you've quit your job and you know you're starting by yourself in that time.
Yeah.
But you've also had a few holidays as well, haven't you?
Yeah. We've been to Italy. That was a terrifying experience before I went, because I thought that I'm going to eat loads of pasta whilst I'm on holiday. And actually, I came back having lost weight.
Lost weight on holiday, right?
But I did have an amazing holiday still. But it just, I think, again, just on the whole process, I've learned that if I'm going to go out for dinner or have something, I probably, you know, a naughty, I don't know, some ice cream or something. I will make a sacrifice earlier in the day, but and that definitely applied in Italy. So that was a fantastic holiday, but also I actually relaxed, which I always find quite hard to do on holiday. Normally I'd probably be a bit hungover in the morning, eat loads at lunch, eat loads at supper, and you just feel a bit sort of whereas I went running every day, which was a first, and I just felt great. So we had a great holiday. So yeah, that was quite early on in this whole program. And then obviously my wife was fairly skeptical to start with, but now it's just like,
why is that?
I think she comes from she was a dancer, and she very much thought, I think she thinks that everyone looks at things the same, but actually very quickly realized that we all have different mindsets and we're all programmed differently. So, and I think you've almost sort of reprogrammed me in a positive sense. So, yeah. And she doesn't understand that I don't understand about, I don't know, protein or carbs or fiber and the different balances of nutrition. She just thinks that I should understand all those things, or everyone. And I understand that, I get that.
Yeah.
But that was something I really have learned a lot about. And I've also actually taken quite an interest in. It's amazing what Google can do by telling you different foods. So that's really good. I feel, so we did that, and then we made some changes to cycling to work, which again was brilliant. And I have to get there. It's not like I can just get off my bike halfway through the 8-mile cycle. That was brilliant, just incorporating that into my everyday life. But then also at work, walking 10,000 steps a day. It wasn't just 10,000 straight up, right? It was 7,000, and then 10,000. But I realized actually I was probably walking more like 12 or 13,000 a day. And that is a huge benefit I never really thought about. And then eating, we still eat really nice food. We make everything ourselves. Don't have to spend a fortune, but I think Millie's really embraced that and really enjoys the sort of cooking things that are high in protein and all those sort of things.
Yeah, let's be honest, it tastes good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does taste good.
That's it. Absolutely. You know, that's it. So let's just go back to Millie, if that's cool, right? You know, because again, for a lot of guys, you know, they're like, Millie does, like you said, Millie just didn't understand why you didn't understand how to lose weight, right? Yeah. And that's it, right? You know, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. You know, like you know, what women want is not what we hear. You know, that's it, right? And that's the thing. So of course she doesn't get it, which is fine. She doesn't know how you're going through, what your feelings are, or you know, your frustrations, and you just don't understand it. That's cool. But what was cool though was with you, like, because what a lot of guys do is they're like, oh, I need to go and ask my wife, because this is how, you know, we're supportive. You know, this is what we do. We make our decision, and you know, I want to run it by her first. Yeah. And this is the thing, like, because you didn't do that. You were just like, no. You're like, no, I'm making that decision. You know, this is me. I'm doing it. You know, let's crack on. I know she doesn't understand it, but that's it. Now, if it was different and you'd have run it past her, but she'd be like, no, she'd just like, no, just do it yourself.
Yeah, totally. It's as you say, everyone's got different mindsets. I need someone to tell me what to do. It's a bit like being a puppy, right? You're just being told what to do, and if you follow those instructions, it wins. And I think that is exactly what you've done. It's not rocket science. It's just follow the instructions.
Exactly, right. Yeah, but this is the thing as well. It's like you're busy. You know, like with what you're exactly right. Especially like we're going to speak briefly about it in a minute. You know, about with what's going on in your life now. It's like you haven't got the time or the capacity to go and research it.
No.
You know, you haven't got the time for me and then go and give you all the scientific information of why we need to do this and why all of this and that. You just want to be like, have a framework.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you've taken that framework, you've applied it, it's fitting in, it's working. Now you're losing the weight. Millie's happy you've lost weight. And she's like, yeah, that's it. You know, so everything's really good like, with that now. And this, you know, like you're getting, you know, there's comments coming in, you know, like, is this person related to you? Like Sarah, so proud of you, Charlie. You're looking great and really motivated. Again, right? And if you know, is that your sister?
Yeah, it's my mother.
Oh, is it your mum? Oh, amazing, right? Cool. But that's good. You know, if you're getting comments like that, that's amazing, right? And there's someone on YouTube that's just commented, "Wow, Charlie, you look amazing. Really proud of you." Again, right? So this is like, again, you're getting results. People are noticing it. You've probably got people at work noticing it as well.
Yeah,
and you're.
It is amazing. You should probably set up a shop selling belts as well, because I've got no belts yet. But yeah, it's you know, it's what the biggest take out of all of this is. I genuinely have enjoyed it, and it's sort of I don't think if it was something that took over my life, which obviously things like the personal training did take over my life, because I would do the training session twice a week. I'd be in absolute agony for probably 2 weeks after, which just meant sort of taking painkillers, and which made me really unproductive at work. Yeah. And okay, I'd sleep really well the night after my PT session, but that was it.
Yeah.
This, I'm sleeping better. I feel better. I'm more motivated. I'm making better decisions on an everyday life. And I think that is one thing, like the decisions I'm making in life are so much better. Although, you know, leaving a pretty good job, it's, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Come on, let's talk about those decisions, right? So, like you say, it's making you make better decisions.
Yeah.
Right. So come on now. What is a massive decision that you've made recently, Charlie?
Well, I mean, giving up my job, which is a massive thing for anyone. I don't know if I'm mad or what, because obviously the economy isn't great and I sell houses, but I believe in myself. I feel good. I've got the energy.
Got the confidence, got the motivation.
So if I'm not going to do it now, then I never will do it. And yeah, it just comes down to confidence. That's all it came down to. And I've been an agent for what, 22 years. I've never done it before. So it's just extraordinary that this has all happened now. And I'm really excited. And normally when something like this happens, you know, big life decision, I'm somebody that genuinely is terrified, and I'm not a risk taker as such. And this is quite a big risk, but I feel pumped for it, to be honest. So nice. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Nice. So you're setting up your own estate agency in Balham, right?
Yeah, well, focusing all on Southwest London. So Battersea, Clapham, Balham. Yeah,
cool. Cool.
Yeah,
So if anyone's watching this and they're looking to buy or sell a house in Southwest London, then send you a message, right, Charlie?
Come and send me a message on LinkedIn and we can have a chat. And if you're watching this, you probably want to discuss about losing weight as well.
That's it. Cool.
So that has been an incredible, I never thought on this journey that I would have made those sort of changes, which just shows this is not just about losing weight, right? This is about your mindset and your well-being and feeling better, which all helps.
But let's be honest though, when we first spoke, okay, and I was like, you're gonna have the confidence to leave your job and that's what we were talking about when we first spoke. We wouldn't be having this conversation now.
No way.
No. Because at that precise moment, a lot for every other single guy that's been through the Back in Charge blueprint, all they're concentrating on, their main focus, their main concern is their weight.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's it. But then it's like over time they start to see that their weight is actually holding them back from being a better version of themselves.
Yeah, totally.
But look at this now, 8 weeks in, you've done that, massive changes, massive results. You've had a good bit of weight loss. All right. Mm-hmm. It's gone up though this week, which is fine, right? Before this call, you're like, oh my God, it's gone up. I was like, Charlie, how much has it gone up? And you're like, it's gone up like 2 pounds, right? It's like nothing, right? But then we looked at it. You haven't had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because we can then look back at it. Well, why has it gone up? What's been going on this week?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't slept well. There you go. Right? You've been working from home more. So working from home is completely different to having to go into work.
Yeah.
You've got to force yourself to get out of the office in your home to then go, maybe for a bike ride, maybe for a walk. You've got to force yourself, where it's so easy just to wake up, have a shower, then go to the office.
Yeah, it's routine, right? That Monday to Friday, you getting us to weigh ourselves on a Friday and a Monday is genius, because we all know that the weekend you haven't got that routine that you have on Monday to Friday. And I sort of working at home, that routine has gone out of the window. So I'm having to recreate a whole new routine that works for me every day. And that's hard. That I'm not gonna lie. It's but I've got to work through that. So after this, I'll go for a run, and I don't really like running. There's no purpose to it. Whereas cycling to work has a massive purpose. But I feel good, so I will go for a run.
Yeah, that's it. Nice. So Charlie, what's the future hold? What does the future hold for Charlie? With everything that we've done in the Back in Charge blueprint, imagine we're having this conversation a year on, 6 months on, end of the year, Christmas, right? Where do you see yourself then?
Look, obviously, number one is I want to continue feeling really great, because that is going to benefit my wife and family and my business. So that is a really big factor. I actually, want to focus on getting fitter, because I don't feel that I'm that fit. I'm losing weight, but I need to get fitter. So that is my sort of next big focus, which I'm looking forward to having that goal. And, want to lose a bit more weight. And, but I think what I'm taking out of all this is just taking the basics and just applying them to everyday life. It's simple and it's easy. So I can do that probably without help now. And that's really cool. And that's, I suppose, what the 12-week program has done for me. It's sort of set me up, taught me, educated me, and given me a really good foundation to get on the road. So whereas before, when I do something like, I don't know, try and lose weight, you'd hit a goal and then you'd be like, oh, right, we'll go back to the old ways. So that's just that can't happen.
No, that's it. And you feel confident that this is a sustainable approach?
Totally. Yeah, very easy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So Charlie, have you got anything else that you'd like to share, like before we finish this call?
I mean, ultimately, I was, when we had our sort of hour and a half first chat, we had a really in-depth conversation, hit some pretty raw nerves, I suppose. And I suppose if I knew what I know now, I sort of wish I'd sort of done it a couple of years ago. But
we weren't connected then, though, Charlie.
Yeah, we weren't connected.
We weren't connected then.
Exactly. And to be honest, just I enjoy it. And I'm really, that's about as much as I can say, really.
You're enjoying the process.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the videos on a Sunday, that you send over, I watch them normally through a process of 2 or 3 days. I work through them methodically, and just crack on. And
nice.
There are some bits I enjoy, some bits I don't, but that's natural. That's everyone, right? But it's everything I'm taking out of it, I'm benefiting from.
Nice. Cool. Really cool, Charlie. Again, the results that you've had, the wins that you've had over this 8 weeks, right? It's not even a long time.
No.
It's massive, right? And like you say, you're not just doing it for you. Everything you're doing is for your family.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. So you got to make sure that you're in the best condition, mentally, physically, emotionally, that you can then provide for them. So yeah, Charlie should be proud. Like everyone says, you should be proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
Cool. So guys, if anyone's watching this and you'd like to know more about what Charlie's doing in the Back in Charge Blueprint, please just send me a message with the words Coffee and Chats. That's where you watch this from, and I'll send over the information. All right, let's just have a little chat, okay? And Charlie, if anyone's got any questions for you, like would they be cool just to send you a message?
Send me a message on LinkedIn or whatever. Yeah, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Nice one. So again, Charlie, thank you for joining us today on this wet Friday. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's miserable.
But anyhow, that's a story for another day. But yeah, let's have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Charlie, thank you.
Pleasure.
And I'll speak to you all very, very soon.